What's good? What's good? What's good? What you mean finally, man? What's good, Demarcus? SG. Ronald, what's good? Trying to get folks time to come on in here. Oh shit. Nah, my thing's supposed to been it said 9:30. I don't know why it said 9. All right, though. We about to go ahead and get started. Everybody else gonna have to just catch up. Shout out to everybody that's up in here. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Oh, they didn't add it to my this it did. Let's say, dang. Did you think Malik smashed Candace and Nemesis? Hey, it seemed like it. It seemed like it. I'm gonna say that. What's up, Talia? You said raising Kanan's trailers on your birthday. Right. Your birthday is when again? Remind me. It's crazy. I'm normally really good at birthday. I don't. I remember it's in May for sure. I remember you was a Gemini. 29th. Yeah, it better be before you. If they give us one, it better be. It better be the 29th. Gotcha. I remember that. It better be before then. Just if they give us one. All right. I see that we getting a few Nemesis questions. Let's go ahead and focus on the first one that we got. We'll get there. Right now, we're gonna talk about why the hell we ain't got no trailer yet. Hold up, let me put them up. All right, we're gonna talk about we ain't got no goddamn trailer yet. Now, first off, I don't know what the hell's been up with my internet connection or whether it's StreamYard. I honestly don't know what the situation is, but my quality has been incredibly bad. Like I had made an individual video on this regarding the trailer, but I didn't put it out yet because the damn quality looks so bad. What's up, Ronald?
Hey, what's going on? Are we talking about just? I saw the first episode of Nemesis. Is that what we're talking about?
We probably gonna talk about the whole thing because you
I
know
ain't seen
Netflix
the whole
release
thing.
all of it at once. Yeah, I wish ever Nemesis would do one episode at a time, but unfortunately,
Okay, well, I'm in the middle of episode two, so
well, it's pretty good though. What did you think of the first episode before we?
it was suspenseful with them heists and robberies and stuff. I liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty good, and he had that little twist already
uh-huh. Yeah,
with the two wives.
yeah.
But I haven't
Yeah,
seen that
I
height
was about
yet.
to go into it a little bit more, but like I said, I'm on the first topic. Maybe not do that. But anyway, who knows? Maybe I will try to focus more on the first half of it for people because it seems like there's a lot of people that hasn't. Let me ask this chat before I continue on the Raising Kanan trailer. How many people in the chat right now hasn't seen the full um, Nemesis series yet? I know. I know me, Demarcus, Ali. She's not in here right now, but I mean, she played it on the Discord. But I know even she was saying she needs to give it a rewatch. It seems like a lot of people snoozing through it, and I would hope the snoozing isn't because they didn't think it was good because it's pretty damn good. But
How many episodes did you see?
I've seen all of them.
Oh,
Yeah, it's eight in total.
I ain't had time for all that. It just came out the other night, didn't
You said who cares about raising Canaan now? Me, nigga. Me. Amos. Amos don't look like. Well, I mean, he got a high top like the nigga. Was that the whole season or the first part of season? Like, I believe that's the whole season. Because you know one thing about because Beauty and Black is 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
I believe so, right? Isn't it? It's 30 minutes, right?
No,
It's an hour.
it's been an hour so far.
Ah, okay, maybe I'm tripping. My bad.
But they dropped most of theirs too. I don't.
But
I
one thing
got
about
time to
Tyler
binge.
Perry has always been like that. Tyler Perry do two parts to his seasons. 'Cause his seasons are always long. Like he did it for halves and a half. Not he do it for the Oval, and now he's doing it for Beauty and Black. So that's pretty standard for him. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this trailer though. So as we know, normally there's a trailer within like a month away from the actual show airing. But this time they decided to fucking play with us. And in my opinion, I think it's only one explanation the reason why they didn't give us a trailer. So the reason I think they're not giving us a trailer is it's a mixture of two things. So one, I think we can almost assure, guarantee that Rock is alive. The reason why I say this is because I believe they didn't give us a trailer due to trying to cover up a lot of stuff. And I think it's going to be hard for them to give us entertaining enough trailer without spoiling things. Because, and Getting How I Live touched on this too. I noticed that he said this. I watched the video of his. He said that, Force, if you can remember, kind of gave away a lot in day trailer. And actually, Book Two Ghost did the same thing. They gave too much in their trailers, and people like me, Getting How I Live, um, Top Notch to Watch, um shit, Detroit Kings, Brelo, all of us, were damn near working together, and then for the most part, most of us watch each other's videos as well. Nate Almighty, and then we'll watch each other's videos, and we'll come up with our own conclusions, and then we might watch somebody else's stuff, notice something that we didn't notice, and then that helps us get a clue to something, and then we piece it all together, and a lot of the stuff we was able to figure it out, right? So they was like, nah, we ain't gonna have these little glass niggas doing that shit for season 5, because this is something we really trying to protect. So we're not gonna get these motherfuckers a trailer. That's what I'm starting to think it is. Like I said, Rock, they're trying to hide Rock, and I think another character that they're trying to hide is Lulu. You pay attention throughout all the stuff that they've been giving out. Who are the characters that are limited the most? Obviously, we haven't seen Rock at all. And Lou, we only seen him one photo. So Rock, they're hiding for obvious reasons. They don't want to give it away that she's alive. But Lou, they could be not showing him because he's gonna have a major twist to be Ghost dad, motherfuckers.
No, he gonna find out who his real mama is.
Hell nah. His mama is Joyce. His mama is in the grave, in the morgue. It's over. But I looked at a interview with um I looked at an interview with London Brown. He was on some show. I can't remember what it was, but he pretty much confirmed that he said he's definitely going to pay a lot more attention to this particular season, because he said it's going to be pretty good, and there's going to be a lot of twists and turns up in this particular season. He's like, that you're not going to see coming. So pretty much, I think he's confirming that a lot is going to be revealed in this season that we probably didn't think of, or possibly a couple of it that we was wondering about but never got the answers to. Now, a lot of people would probably think that, but it's 8 episodes. True. And something I hope that they do is give us 2 hours long on an episode or two. Yeah, or even if it's not 2 hours long, if they can just make it an hour and something, it could end up still giving you the same length as a 10 episode series. Because a lot of times they've been robbing us on this watch time, making that shit 50 some minutes. So if all of them is an hour 10 ish, it'll be close to the same as you getting that extra two, or if it's an hour 20 or hour whatever. Because one thing I know about All American, right? All American is in their final season, and they said they're going to start theirs off with a 2 hour long first episode. And something else that I'm noticing, and it might not be a 2 hour long. I'm not saying that it will, but I'm just saying who knows, they might extend the length of them a little bit. If you pay attention, a lot of these shows, pay attention to what's going on. A lot of these shows are cutting their episodes. Beauty and Black, the last season, they said it's only going to be 6. Bel Air, the final season was only 8. And now we're getting Raising Kanan, the last one, 8. So it seems as if the studios are trying to cut back on the cost by shortening the episodes. And see, for Beauty and Black, for Back to Bel Air, I noticed with Bel Air, remember the last episode, Will Smith was in it. For those of y'all that watch it, Bel Air. Will Smith was in the final episode. We know Will Smith is not cheap at all. So I think the same thing could possibly be going on with this Raising Kanan situation.
But he's an executive producer on the show.
Sure, but he's still gonna get a jet. You think they just because they're executive producer, they're not gonna pay themselves? They are. Shit, 50 Cent was executive producer on Bow. You think that motherfucker wasn't getting paid? He was.
I just guess I would think they wouldn't bankrupt the production just so they can show up on that. But
because you got to think about it. Will Smith, everybody was talking about the show. How Will Smith, because it was on, I remember it being on a lot of headlines. How Will was on the last episode. How they ended it. So they're gonna, it's possible, like they kind of, if you look at it from a sports perspective, how in certain, like I'm an NBA guy, so in the NBA, if you're a big time superstar and you want to keep your team together, you might take a pay cut so that the team can stay together, but you still gonna want your check. So it might be something like that. Like, let's say, like Will probably like, okay, normally when I show up, and keep in mind this is a television opposed to a movie, because movies, you're gonna get paid more. Let's say normally standard rate for him got to be at least $1 million, I would say. Let's say he decide, all right, I'll do it for $500K. Now that's still a good grip of money. However, since it's only one episode, they could do it. Now that's if he did that, because I do know 50 Cent didn't take that much when it came to the first season of Power. Now perhaps once it got bigger, he may have took his share. And I think the same thing could be going on with the Patina Miller and Shamik Moore situation. Shamik Moore is going to cost an awful lot. And the fact that, Rock is still there, obviously with her being the lead, she's going to cost a lot with it being their 5th season. And then keep in mind, look at how many characters are still alive that's been here since season 1. That means all of them's pay has increased. You got Rock, Marvin, Lou, Unique, Kanan, Jukebox, Pernessa. Who else been there since season 1? I think that might be it since season 1. But anyways, my point is, you got a lot of characters that's been here for quite a while. That their cost is going to go up. So, in order to cut back on their cost, you eliminate 2 episodes. So that's what's going on with the 8 lengths. I think the 8 episodes and the reason for no trailer. It kind of makes sense. Now I still hope they give us a trailer. Shit. Let me read it. I got a lot of comments.
I think they already done gave away. I mean, what we know Vanessa survived. We know Stefano survived.
Right.
They probably should have kept all of it under wraps.
But see, those are 2 kind of side characters. You can give that away. You don't want to give away the identity of your
But
major.
it's important. But it's important to the storyline. That's important to know that Vanessa is out some kind of way.
Not really. I don't think so. Now with Forrest, them giving it away in the trailer that JP dies. All you gotta do is know where to look and piece it together, along with the exclusive clips that they released. We were able to put it together. Okay, JP is dead. That's major. He was the biggest death of the season. Vanessa, even if she died, it wouldn't have mattered that much. We'd have been like, damn, boo-hoo. But that'd been it. Nobody cares. You feel me? But for JP, it was pretty big, according to that storyline of what was going on. And
that one was predictable, though.
It was predictable. I agree. But a lot of reason why it was predictable was because of the trailer. We didn't get no trailer. We could have maybe thought about him dying, because with it being the final season, you would think, okay, yeah, he probably gone. But it's still been speculation. You still would have been thinking about, oh, Kate might die, maybe. And then also keep in mind they did something else. Remember at the beginning, Tommy was saying him and Gary Lennon figured out they weren't telling a complete story. But don't worry, Tommy's journey is far from over. They pretty much gave it away that Tommy doesn't die. Right there.
You don't think Diamond's death was a bigger deal than JP?
Well, I kind of knew, if you pay attention to my death predictions in the beginning of Force, I said Diamond was going to die. And I said Jannard was going to survive. I was 100% right. This is way before we even got the trailer. Because you could tell the way it was going. Chris Lofton is a bigger actor. He's a better actor than Isaac. Isaac Hayes. Isaac did a fairly good job that final season. But
he said Isaac Hayes.
You know what I meant to say? Isaac Keys, my bad. Thinking about Memphis for a second. But yeah. He's a better actor, and he was bigger to the story. So you want to keep him around. With us knowing that a spinoff was coming, we kind of knew that, right? That's what let me know, okay, he's going to die. He's going to survive. And turned out to be right about it. But like I said, it's the promos and the trailers that gave everything away. What the teasers that Raising Kanan has gave us so far, we can't really too much dictate anything without that. Only thing I got from what they've given us so far is Kanan is going to get his ass whooped. That's pretty much what we got. And we made speculations that Marvin is going to die. No, nothing's no kind of slam dunk that guarantees it, but we could speculate it from the fact that they had him as the voiceover for the last teaser that they gave us, and also the fact that we seen Jukebox crying like that. We assumed Marvin probably has died, right? But we don't have nothing that can give us assurance on it. Force and Book Two gave us insurance that this is what's going to happen.
Don't you think we'll see Tremont this season?
We probably will. The fact that they announced that he's, in Origins.
But what do you think he's going to do this season? He might be the one that went after Rock, or that ends up. He's got plenty of reason to go after Rock and Marvin.
Yeah.
And then it never made sense that they let him live after beating him down like that.
So Tremont, to me, seems like the type that a snitch, right? He looks like a snitch type to me. If he gets in the right, in the position where they got him cornered and there's no way out, he'll snitch to get out, right? So I could see him, because keep in mind he does have ties to. He knows who Rock's supplier is because they got it from him. He knows about the Thomas organization. He let me see, what else does he know? He knows enough knowledge to be able to put away a lot of people. So it could end up, a lot of the mobsters get arrested, because we know there's going to be a time period where a lot of them do get arrested, because the original power told us that. So that could happen, and then Rock used her get out of jail free card, because keep in mind they talked about that at the beginning of season 4. So I can see that happening. I don't think Marvin is gonna go to jail. He's already been before. He's like, nah, I ain't going back. So I can see him going out like Kanan, perhaps.
So I'm kind of on the same page as DeMarcus about Tremont.
It's a lot of comments I haven't looked at yet. Let me look at a couple of them.
When he said Tremont will eliminate Rock, I think that's a viable theory.
Maybe, and I got a theory about that. I kind of wanted to wait till I get to that third segment.
Okay.
Before I really talk about it.
Okay, we're just talking about the trailer. Well, that could be another character they hiding by not having the trailer come
out. Another reason could be the reason why they're hiding this trailer. Breeze. As much as I hate to say this, there is a possibility that Breeze might die in one season. I think the possibility of that has increased. It's gonna suck to me, but yeah. But
well, if he dies this season, then we're gonna have to see even a younger version of Jamie, right?
Yeah, we would.
If we see his death.
There you go. So back to what I originally said. I think they're gonna just show him dead, but not show the actual death. Like you saw how Kanan in the original Power was trying to set up Tariq so that he could shoot him in the back of the head. So I'm assuming they may have found his body dead in a chair or something, right? So perhaps at the end of this season, they show him dead in the chair, but don't exactly show us what happened to him. And then the narrator could show up, like, 50 Cent show up, do some narrating, talking about, him being dead, what have happened, what could have possibly happened that led to it. And then he end the story there. And we got to wait to Origins to find out. That's what I'm leaning towards. That's what they're going to do. Also, I'm pretty sure they're going to do a flash. I mean, a time jump. That's also what I'm getting from the no trailer. The fact that they're going to be doing a time jump, right? Certain parts of it would have to be based in the late mid '90s, right? So maybe that last episode or two, we're going to see young Ghost and Tommy. Probably just the last episode, but obviously they can't show those characters because that would identify some things. So it's way too much that they have to conceal. So they're like, hell no, no trailer, people.
I think it's going to be good, but I still, at the same time, believe we're going to feel kind of shorted because that's a lot of story. It's a whole storyline as to what motivated Jamie to go out to kill Breeze.
Right, and I think we're gonna get that in Origins. Look at this.
In
Look at what's going
2002.
on. You say what?
In 2002.
No,
Flashback.
in a flashback. Yes. Because keep in mind, remember I did a video on this, or I talked about it on live, whichever one it was. One of the characters, I can't remember which one it was, but one of the characters on their X channel pretty much confirmed that Origins is taking place in the late '90s and the early 2000s. So that lets us know there it's going to be a flashback. So, with that being said, more than likely that first half of the show is going to be putting the pieces together of how and why um, the Thomas family went down. Because keep in mind in the synopsis, I don't know. Have y'all seen the synopsis already?
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so they tell you in the synopsis that the Thomas downfall is coming,
Mhm.
and you're going to get the rise of Kanan and Breeze. Now, downfall could mean a couple of things, but more than likely, with the show that we're dealing with, we know what the downfall means. Let me catch up on these comments really fast. I know they're building up. The writers don't want y'all to guess what's going on, raising Cannon. Yep. The writers want y'all to talk about Nemesis for a couple of weeks before they drop the trailer of Raising Cannon. That could be it too, Demarcus. That's actually that's a good point. You got to keep in mind, like I see a lot of people saying that Courtney isn't involved with Power anymore. She's doing Netflix. That's not true. Is she the head writer of it? No. But she still is involved. You pay attention to every episode, it still says executive producer Courtney A. Kemp at the end of it. Still says it. And also, like I told you, my homie that was in Raising Canaan, he told me during their table read, Courtney Kemp was present. So that lets you know she is still involved. So if Courtney Kemp is still involved with the show, and keep in mind she's the creator, so she would want to make sure Nemesis gets his buzz before before they dropped the trailer of Raising Kanan because Raising Kanan is the big fish. That's what everybody's waiting on. So if they would have dropped, yeah, that honestly, Demarcus, you probably hit it right on the nail. That's probably what it is. I don't know why the hell I didn't think of that, but that's more than likely the case of what it is. They didn't want Raising Kanan to steal from Nemesis. So maybe expect that trailer this week because it's been out. Nemesis will be out a whole week then. And keep in mind, you just bench watching that. It's not like it's one episode at a time. So, yep. And even with Joseph Sakura, if you pay attention, it was the same thing. Although they didn't make us wait longer, but keep in mind what was Joseph Sakura involved in this this past season. He was on Reasonable Doubt. Joseph Sakura is an executive producer for Force, so he made sure Reasonable Doubt was done before they dropped the trailer of Force because he didn't want them to he didn't want Force to steal from Reasonable Doubt. I saw pictures with Rock. Are those the same writers? Why would Kanan writers care about Nemesis? Okay, I already addressed that. They promote Nemesis until June, then Raising Kanan. I mean, I don't think they're going to promote it until June. It's probably going to be another week top. Because I think June is like pretty late. Like you only have a week left, basically, a week and a half left to promote Raising Kanan. You don't want Raising Kanan to not get its promotion for the last season. So if that's the case and they are going to give us a trailer, I would suspect one more week at the absolute most because you want to give Raising Kanan at least almost 3 weeks to promote from promotion. Like Raising Kanan is big enough that it can still survive with a week less promotion than Nemesis because Nemesis is new. A lot of people don't know about Nemesis. Keep in mind, Courtney Kemp doesn't have as much popularity as 50 Cent does. So although her name is attached to it, people only know her because of 50 Cent, to be honest. So more promotion need to be put into Nemesis than it needs to be into Raising Cat.
Where
Do
was,
you like
where
the
was this
North?
picture with Rock and Stefano?
I haven't seen that, but hey, if someone can find it and want to share it with me, cool. I think Lou gonna get dropped quickly this season. It could mean that. Got to be honest. It could mean that. I'm not going to be happy about it, but
That's why seeing Panessa free is telling us something. Something happened.
could be. I gotta
Like,
say, could be.
Barilla let her go, or uh, I'm pretty sure he's dead this season.
Damn, y'all just gave me an idea. What could be happening, bro? And I hope this ain't it. I know. I'm sure Demarcus would be happy to hear this bullshit, but it could be that B Rilla ends up, like you said, letting her go, but also he puts Lou in the position that he ends up getting taken out. Because keep in mind, Pranessa did have a gun on her. I don't know if they took it from her or not, but she did have a gun on her. Now we know Pranessa is not a killer at all, but you gotta remember when you what you laughing at?
Vanessa, she always got a gun. She
I get that. That's why I'm about to get. That's why I'm trying to get ready to explain. So, but you gotta remember this: she's not a killer by nature. However, you push a mother bear in the corner, they'll fight. Remember that, because her son is on the line. That could be her motivation to go ahead and shoot. And I think every mother that hears this would agree. Talia, you in there. Ali's not in here right now, but if we have any other mothers, and come on, fellas, we know how our moms are when it comes to protecting their children. They'll do some things that you wouldn't dream of them they would do in order to protect their children. So she could do that. Like say, let's because keep in mind, here's the factor as well. Keep this in mind. B Rilla has a daughter. So he has a child. He knows what it's like. He might end up thinking about putting himself in them shoes. Be like, damn, you know, I wouldn't want nobody to do that with me, with my child there. And he could end up getting a soft heart enough to let Vanessa go. That could happen like that. Or it could be Lou doesn't end up dying, but he B really helps her escape. That could happen. But B really probably would be linked to how she escaped. Or it could simply be um, after they find out what happened to Rock, Lou decides to let her go. Perhaps Rock tells him to let her go. Who knows? Okay, so let me catch up more comments. Stars and CW totally different channels for 2 hour shows. Okay, I know you haven't The Wire, but its final season was 2008. They cut that short as well for the same reason. So yeah, it makes sense. Stars and Netflix totally different networks too. Yeah. I told y'all Bel Air season was 8 episodes and Raising Kanan final season was 8 episodes too. Y'all just heard hard headed. What's up, C Motion? That running that OG Power started with 8 episodes and Raising Kanan final season ended with 8 episodes. Diamond Up was bigger than JP's there. I think the scene was bigger, but it wasn't bigger to the story. I mean, Diamond Death doesn't even happen if JP's death didn't happen.
now JP's death was a great scene. It was a great scene because he knew he was going to die.
Yeah, he knew absolutely. That's why he
But
made you
the one I felt the most really was Marshall.
Marshall. It was all right, I guess. It didn't touch me like that. I mean, it was cool. I knew he was going to get his ass popped. So, uh, but Diamond, yeah, I guess what to me pushes it a little over it more than JP's is the fact that he died in front of his brother, and um, Jannard's reaction to it once he's. Keep in mind, he gave that nice little monologue right before he died. He gives us the reveals to us the story of how Jannard got in the game. What's the reason he put him in the game? He asking him for forgiveness and stuff like that. He gives him the reason why he allowed Tommy to do certain things that the old Diamond wouldn't let him do. So I think all of that being part of the buildup is what helped it too.
What was it
It's a lot of shit. I can't
worse
remember.
was it worse for um Jannard or worse for Tommy? Now Jannard and Diamond in a shootout, somebody gonna get shot. But Tommy had to hear it over the phone.
Yeah, but I think hearing it over the phone is not as bad as you actually seeing it, them dying in your arms.
But that's even more powerless. I would think you just really feel like
Yeah, it makes you powerless to it. Yeah, but you're still powerless. The fact that you are there. Think about this. You there, and you can't do nothing about it. I understand you over the phone pretty much does the same thing, but you seeing them take their last breath in front of you, that's worse than you imagining it, I believe. Brian, I'm finna get your little ugly ass out of here. I'm tired of this. Vanessa and Jerome might leave Unique and move somewhere else. Hi, a good possibility of that. Yeah, Juke tried to call Rock, but she, she was she was on already on the phone with somebody. I would suspect the reason why she didn't answer. Um, and I'm not sure, Ronald. Maybe you can answer this. In the '90s, did they have a call waiting during that time? Well, I don't know.
he didn't. Uh,
They didn't.
in the 90s. Ooh, let me see. Call waiting.
Yeah, like if you on the line already, they have any kind of indicator to let you know somebody else is trying to call you.
In the 90s. That's probably where it started. That's probably where it started. Because I remember before we even had like the voicemail thing,
Hmm.
that probably just started in the 90s. Because I moved to Houston in '83 and wasn't none of that going on.
So, so it could be that she didn't, and then that's the reason why she wasn't able to get through. She was already on the phone with whoever it was she was on the phone with.
What kind of phone did she have? Was she on a landline or a cell?
Ah, shoot. I want to say she was on a cell. Could have been a cordless phone.
Now that could have been possible in '92. Not cell phone. I don't think. We don't really know who Rock was talking to,
Yeah, we don't.
but she was talking about Unique and Lou. She was telling somebody that Lou had did something with to Unique, right?
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of different aspects could be doing going on with that. With finding out with this trailer, but it's probably going to end up being the one Demarcus gave us that. they trying to give it time, give Nemesis its promotion before Raising Kanan comes.
And the only connection between the two is Courtney Kemp.
Yeah, but Courtney Kemp is big enough that it matters. Like I said, she's the executive producer, so she could make that call. Be like, hey, um,
So she on Stars telling them don't interfere with my new show on Netflix.
she could. But stars, executives, it all depends on what kind of, I guess, power she has over that. I mean, it could not be that. It could not be it. And she is the creator, so she still has creative control over the show because her name is still on it. All of that stuff branched away from, even though she's not the top writer for it anymore.
So all these years that she been gone, this what she been working on Nemesis.
Yep, I like it. Hmm. And speaking of Nemesis, let's go ahead and head to that. I asked earlier, I don't know if y'all answered. I'm gonna ask it one more time. Who has seen the full first season of Nemesis? Because if everybody hasn't, majority hasn't seen it, I might not go ahead and say what happens at the end to spoil it for people.
Don't spoil the end, but I got one question. So spoil this for me. Um, does do we see more of Manny? What was his name? The cop that got killed, Manny Shaw or something.
Not really.
The reason I ask because the actor who playing that part was Tristan Mac Wiles. You know who he is?
Mm.
You might want to look him up. I always felt like he should have been somewhere in Power. He could have played somewhere in Power. He was a kid. He was one of the kids on The Wire.
Mm.
Um, but he's well known. Seems to me he could have had a bigger part.
So, but yeah, he's they show a little small image of like a little small scene when he was bleeding out, basically after he got shot,
Yeah.
and you know, Isaiah trying to help him, but like other than that, I don't think they go any further than that showing it.
A lot of power in the Wire actors on Nemesis. Yeah, the Wire actors. Yeah, they were showing up all throughout Power too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the wire and the power, aspect of it, but for sure, Nemesis had a lot of power actors on it.
Mm. Now the family therapist, I did see her in episode 1. She was
Yeah,
on Snowfall,
yeah, Sizzy.
and she was in The Wire too. She was D'Angelo Boxdale's mama in The Wire.
Is there an echo in the house? I don't hear an echo. But yeah, so with Nemesis, so I know a lot of people was thinking it's probably going to be like the power of Netflix, right? And almost it kind of it's some similarities. Like I hear Demarcus, you're saying that they're not too alike. It's definitely a lot of similarities. Now, is it the same? No. But you
No,
got a lot of similarities. Coltrane's character has some similarities to Ghost's character. And it's sad that y'all haven't seen it yet. 'Cause I had a question that I wanted to ask y'all, but the fact is, Ronald, you haven't made it past episode 1.
I'm
I
I'm
mean
one
2.
I'm 1.5 in. I'm not through with 2
You
yet.
ain't gonna know the answer to this. And Talia said she was dozing off through it. It's a good line that's funny as hell to me that I wanted to ask y'all about, but y'all not gonna know. Demarcus will know. Oh, hold on, SG, did you finish it? Brinkley and Emmanuel Shaw should have switched roles. Shit, who is the name? Oh yeah. I know who that is. That's the oh, I guess because y'all saying he's a better actor and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. So you got to watch it again. Damn. See, so ain't nobody gonna know the answer to my question. Dang.
It seemed like it's just my impression from the first episode and a half. I was thinking, how they gonna get seasons out of this?
They can get some seasons out of
Okay,
it.
so it's because I caught the I can't think of their names now. That the wife knows the other wife,
Uh-huh.
but they don't. But the two husbands, who are really each other's nemesis, doesn't know that the two wives know each other.
Well, actually, they do. They do know.
Well, they haven't found out where I'm at yet. I
Actually,
mean, Coltrane knows who this guy is, but the detective guy doesn't know who Coltrane is, right?
yes, they do. Yes,
He
they do.
knew in episode 1
Yep. Mm-hmm.
because he did look like he was talking to him through the camera, and everybody
Nah,
saying you on the news.
trust me, that nigga definitely know who he is. And once you watch the show more, you gonna know the answer.
I know it. I can see the setup where it's going, but in episode 1, I don't think the cop, what's his name,
I,
Isaiah. No,
Isaiah, yeah, Isaiah.
I don't think he knows who he's actually looking for in episode 1. He's looking for a pattern, and he thinks he is the same people. And see where I am, he's just they tracking down Dion with his gang affiliation and his stupidity.
Right.
That's where I'm at.
I love Dion though.
Oh, I knew he was gonna be a problem from the first time he was on
He
there.
said, "Better protect." I need that, cuz.
But didn't the woman, I don't know her name, didn't she order a hit on him in episode 2?
Yep.
Okay.
She's big to the storyline too. I like her.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so you said Coltrane is not similar to Ghost because Ghost didn't eliminate cops or women. Ain't got nothing to do with what I'm saying. Just because Ghost didn't eliminate cops don't mean they don't have similarities, nigga. That's insane. You gonna point out one aspect that they have different and say they're not similar. You that's like saying that saying, oh, apples don't have you can eat the apple's peelings, but you don't eat the orange's peelings, so they don't have no similarities. Nigga, they both fruits. They similar. Fuck out it. But they have similarities because both of them, on top of that, the biggest thing that they're similar about is both of them have try to, even though they're criminals, they live in plain sight. They act like they're upstanding businessmen. That's one major thing they have in common. Now, are they different on a lot of scales? Absolutely. Coltrane deeply loves his wife, and Ghost loved Tasha, but it wasn't the same, not the same level. Like the way Coltrane is, it looked like you can't really even, at least according to the first season, you don't see. It don't seem like Coltrane would cheat on Ebony.
Now, okay, I've seen episode one. I'm on two. What? I'm about halfway through episode two. Now, did Ebony her name?
The Ebony what?
Ebony, that's her name.
Yes,
Coltrane's wife. She
yes,
lost a baby or something.
yes. So she had a miscarriage.
Okay.
It's later on throughout the show they're gonna show you exactly what happened. I'm not gonna spoil that for people.
Is
But
that
yeah,
is that Zaire? Zaire, is that the baby child's name? Did they name it?
I think they did have a name, but I'm not sure what the name of it was. It may have been that. Yeah, y'all missing out. It's crazy. All of y'all saying I have to rewatch again. I'm ashamed. I'm really ashamed because it's actually
This
really
this
fucking
is this
good.
is Saturday night, and see, this is a good night for me to join a live. I come back to Nemesis next Saturday, and I'll go watch it all.
Yeah, I'll come back. I'll circle back. But yeah, it's actually really good. I would recommend a lot of people to watch it.
Yeah, I was liking it.
But yeah, another let's see, talk about more. In my opinion, see, it's sad because the only one who's seen it all is me and Demarcus, so we're the only ones that can debate this. But in my opinion, Coltrane, I mean, Ghost is smarter than Coltrane because, like, for one thing, like what you just pointed out, Demarcus, Coltrane is willing to fire against law enforcement. Ghost won't do that. And it is crazy though, towards the how the way the direction of the show of how it's moving. You know, how many seasons are they going to get out of this? Because with it being Nemesis, and you know who the Nemesis are, because Coltrane, here's a good thing about it. Coltrane is one of those. It's kind of hard to really identify who's the protagonist and the antagonist with this show.
I was thinking the same as I was watching it. Whose side am I on?
Yeah, because neither one of
You
them.
really kind of want both of them to win.
You want both of them to win, exactly. Like I actually like both characters. Like both of them gritty. They got they both got some. They both ugly as hell to a degree. They be antagonizing each other. They be uh, like that's one of the questions I was gonna ask. What's the funniest? What is like the funniest line? One of the funniest line of the show. Now we know what the coldest scene was to me, like the flexing of power. Because I remember Ali, me, you, I think support was up in there. I think Grandma may have been in there. But anyways, when the Armenian dude flexed on them, what's his name? Andre, showing you the power that he had when he was like, "Oh yes, and I'm never alone." That shit was cold. Okay, yeah, so he was there
See,
too.
I'm not, and one thing I'm doing, I'm not watching it making any comparisons to Power.
Yeah, I didn't watch it like that either. I wasn't looking for the similarity. I just was generally checking out the show. But just watching it, I couldn't help but to notice some things that were similar. Like I said, both of them upstanding businessmen while being criminals. That's something that Ghost and Coltrane shares. But on the flip side, Isaiah, he's the one that excuse me, he's the one that has the son. And his son, everybody was saying, this nigga is a little Tariq. But it was nice to see that some of the stuff that you may have thought could possibly happen didn't happen. Like I said, I don't want to give too much away because a lot of people saying they haven't seen it yet.
Is the daddy going to be more significant?
He's going to definitely play a bigger role in it. We saw all the episodes in Discord. We seen most of it the first day it aired, and then Ali and I saw the last two. It was fast. That's why we got to watch it again. Well, yeah, but see, the way everyone is talking, it makes me think, okay, they might not be able to follow exactly everything I've asked. So let me ask this then. Did y'all catch this? What was the coldest line, at least to me, that stood out? It was funny. It was funny as hell to me between Isaiah and Coltrane when they was talking to each other. Because to me, this line just stood out. I watched this with my girl, and we both that particular line stood out to us. We're like, okay, yeah, that shit was funny as hell. Ghost doesn't listen to Lobos like Coltrane listened to Charlie. Yeah, yeah, Coltrane and Ghost is definitely different. Okay.
Charlie is the woman, right?
Yes,
Which is really his sister-in-law.
right.
Okay.
Because if that would have been Ghost and she would have tried to take him out like she tried to do Coltrane, uh, Ghost would have been popped that ass. He'd been up out of here. Ain't no understanding. The only thing we understanding is this is your last day on earth. And it's dang so crazy because there's so much I want to talk about with it, but y'all not knowing. So yeah, but it's a funny line that that happens. I'm gonna say this at somebody's gravesite when Isaiah and Coltrane are talking. I'll say that. I want to say the line so bad. Well, I can say the line. Actually, it won't really reveal nothing. Okay, because it's just funny. It's oh, you didn't know yet? He with the dead was that. That shit was so damn funny.
No, that doesn't spoil anything. I don't.
Yeah, it ain't gonna spoil nothing for you because you don't know what I'm talking about. But when you get there, hey, Demarcus, did you laugh at that damn scene too, bro? 'Cause that shit, But when I tell you that shit was hilarious to us, that shit was funny as hell. Okay, so SG know what I'm talking about. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, Richard. That's exactly what I'm talking about. He with the dead over that. Hey, don't say nothing else that can reveal spoil it for everybody else, but you know what scene I'm talking about. It would be interesting, Coltrane father Tim Tillman eliminate Josiah or Nightmare eliminate Tillman, or if Charlie father eliminate Josiah in a robbery. DeMarcus, something like that might be the case. Absolutely. Because this is my opinion. Like, we get the name of his nemesis, correct? So I believe towards the ending of this show, there's gonna become a time where, although they're total enemies right now, we're gonna see we're gonna see Coltrane and Isaiah on the same side, because Coltrane is, although he is a ruthless killer, he's not a cold blooded, low down killer. He killed with necessity. So he's not just a serial killer to just kill people just because. Like, he's not a Kanan. He's more like a ghost than a Kanan.
Yeah, that's why he said they had to kill them two people when they was getting them diamonds. They had to do it. But
Yeah,
do they set up another season? Is there a cliffhanger or something?
yeah, it's definitely a cliffhanger at the end.
Okay.
And for me, it was pretty damn exciting to finally watch. Obviously, we got Snowfall, but see, Snowfall with their locations throughout the entirety of their shows, a lot of theirs is kind of further out. Well, not really, but it's not modern day. So a lot of the stuff that you see, it doesn't look like what's here. Like, a lot of stuff, if I wasn't on the set, I wouldn't recognize it. Like, I know where it's at because I drove to it to know where it's at. But like Nemesis, a lot of the locations that they were at, I was like, oh, okay, I know exactly what it is at. Like, some of the heists, like the one that the scene that you're talking about, that there is probably 5 minutes from me where I'm at right now, where I live.
Talking about the jewelry stores.
Yes. And the big shootout that they had in Century Park, I knew exactly where that was at. I was like, oh, okay, shit.
Is that when they got the money and threw the diamonds on them? Or was another shootout coming?
No, it's another major shootout that's
Oh,
coming.
okay. And that was a smart move there, at least so far from what I've seen. That looks like that was pretty smart.
Nah, I ain't gonna spoil it, Demarcus. But hey, I do agree with you. He does have some Alonzo Harrison for sure. But yeah, I think like both of them are very likable characters. They kill with necessity. They're not too nice because for me, I don't like the protagonist that's always trying to do justice and stuff like that. Fuck that justice. We try to And I also like the other exchange um between Coltrane and Isaiah when basically Isaiah was trying to flex on Coltrane a little bit. Matter of fact, it was that same. It's in the same scene of the line I was just talking about with he with the dead homies. Pretty much, Coltrane was telling him like, "Nigga, we ain't that much different. The only difference is you working for somebody instead for a certain pay for a certain pay, and I'm choosing my own life of how I want to do shit, and I'm getting paid greatly for it." Now I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he was telling him. Could I see Isaiah becoming dirty, full on corrupt? No, I don't think so. Do I? Will he do some dirty work? Yes, but he's the type that he's willing to get dirty to get justice. He's like a Alonzo Harris character, like DeMarcus said, mixed with Cooper Sacks. Like Cooper Sacks was overzealous and would go the extra mile to get justice for somebody he knew was a criminal, but he couldn't prove it. So he was like, "F that, the law, the justice system isn't working for me. I got to do some shit to go ahead and make sure justice is done." Yeah, I know Sachs was dirty. That's what I was saying. That's what I was just saying. He's dirty. But he was only dirty because he knew the person he was after was a criminal, but he couldn't prove it. So he had to get dirty to try to catch the guy. And I think Isaiah is similar when it comes to that. Now, Cooper Sacks isn't a killer. Alonzo Harris is a killer. Isaiah Stylus is a killer. So that's why I said he's Alonzo Harris mixed with Cooper Sacks. Like Cooper Sacks is never gonna frame somebody that's, actually innocent and a good civilian. He's only gonna do that to a person he knows is a criminal. But anyways, though, I got something coming up that I gotta move on. But yeah, we definitely gonna come back to Nemesis, people. Y'all go ahead and get caught up so we can have the full conversation. But we're gonna move on to the rise of the Rock Street Killers, people. So the Rock Street Killers, we know that's something that was in season 1 and 2 of the original Power, right?
Why you spell it with her name?
Because
That threw me off.
because I wasn't the first to come up with this. I think the first to come up with this was Get It How I Live. If anybody else knows anything different, let me know in the comments.
But there actually was a Rock ROCK Street Killers.
Yeah. So
The RSKs.
right, the RSKs.
Okay.
So what Getting It How I Live came up with is that could it be a possibility that the Rock Street Killers got its name from the crew that Kanan is going to create? Kanan and Breeze together come to create to take down Rock's organization. Because keep in mind, Rock is the one on top right now. We know, according to the synopsis of Raising Kanan, that their empire is going to fall. So could it be that the Rock Street Killers is the organization that took Rock down?
No.
You said no? Why you say no?
Because we don't know nothing about them, for one thing. Where were they mentioned in OG Power?
Yes.
Not in Raising Canaan.
No, they have not been mentioned in Raising Canaan yet. And keep in mind,
So in OG Power, see you watched that more than I have. It was mentioned by Roller's brother or something.
yeah, Jakuda.
It, it has something to do with Roller's brother. And then when when did the Jamaican dude early in Power? There was a Jamaican dude that was played by the same guy that played Marlowe on The Wire. Who was that?
Um,
Did he mention the RSKs?
yes, he did. You're talking about shit.
Who was talking to him
Drifty.
about?
Drifty. But but see, this is the thing with them. Let's go ahead. Yeah, he talking about Drifty. The let's go with what we know already of um what we know about um RSK so far. We know that they're a gang. They wear green. Roller was the head of them, but we also know that Ghost and Tommy was the head of it before then, and before them, Kanan was the head of it. We know that from season 2, because right before Kanan took out Q Dubs, he told him that whatever Ghost and whatever Ghost and Tommy gave to your brother, I gave to them, and he said the shit is alone, don't make us collect. So that lets us know there, Kanan was the one who was over, and we haven't heard of the RSKs as of now, according to Raising Kanan, right? So
Okay.
they have to be created anywhere between now and I would say before Tariq and Raina is born, which is 2002. So they got to get created within that 10-year radius. So with that being said, Rock Street Killers, right? Raquel's name so happened to be Rock. We know that their empire is gonna fall. I'm just saying. So it could be that Breeze and Kanan comes up with that organization. They take down Rock, and that's the game. The name of it. 'Cause it also makes sense to that Kanan and I mean that Ghost and Tommy so happen to be a part of it. So if they do, they end up taking them. And the part that sucks the most is that because here, let me put this out there. I believe that if I'm right about Rock is going to be alive, according to what the way things is looking. Oh shit! God damn, man. It sucks, man. She don't set this damn thing for 9:45, and so I got to rush through this in order to make sure I still make it on time. I'm going like Isaiah right now from Nemesis. Let me see how far this shit is for me. Damn, man, she gonna motherfuckers late already all the way all the time and shit. Why can't I be late? How long it's gonna take me to get over there? 20 minutes. Shit. Anyways, though, like I said, with the RSKs, it could be a situation where if Rock is still around, she has her side, and then Kanan and Breeze and them end up having their side. Because Flossie, I'm starting to think Flossie and that Pinot Bernardi do, they might turn out to be Kanan's and them new plug. That might be what it is, because they need somebody. they might need somebody to be their supplier, especially if Unique end up, not being available anymore with because we I think it's fair to say that what's dude name the Unique had that time the Italian dude, what the fuck his name? I forgot right now.
Russo.
Yeah, Russo. Um,
But see, I'm
he's
still
gonna be
thinking
out
about
there
what
quick.
about Hafiz? I
So
thought that was gonna make Rock the main plug in Queens was her connection to Hafiz.
yeah, yeah, I believe so as well, which is why they're going to be they're going to be a major war to gain control. And who knows? That he probably not the only supplier. Perhaps somebody else may get something to come in. We don't know who the Flossie and Pino Bernardi them people where they're getting their shit from.
Now, does Hafiz circle? But does that circle back to Tremont?
That's what. So yeah, since Tremont actually knows, God damn, hold on. But yeah, so what I was saying is I think Russo is going to be out very quickly because Stefano is going to take him out. But we also know that Pino Bernardi is a nemesis that rivals Stefano. So I think he is going to play a part in the end of Stefano. Stefano is probably going to end up teaming up with Rock. So therefore, Kanan and Breeze is probably going to have to team up with Bernardi, and it's going to be a major war that takes place, I believe. And then probably towards that back end, that's when Kanan is going to figure out that he was wrong about all that shit. You know that he's been manipulated, and then Kanan and Breeze takes out Snaps and Pop flashback. I mean, then we get a time jump. You see Breeze there. This is just me predicting of what's gonna go on. End up, and pretty much we already on Rock survives but I want to give because I kind of got to rush through this now, unfortunately, because I got to ready somewhere to be. But with the survivor of Rock, the thing is another thing that always stood out to me that I think other people didn't pay attention to is the name of the final episode of Raising Canaan. Well, the final episode of season 4. The name of the episode title was "Give Me the Weight," right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that happened in that episode that we visually seen fulfilled that title, right?
It was. I took it to refer to Rock because she was always the one that had to take everything on, and even Lou and Marvin acknowledged that. When Lou was talking to
Oh
Kanan,
shit! I never thought about it from that way. That's a good point, Ronald. Shit, I don't know how the fuck I missed that, but yeah, that probably is what it is. Yep, it always fall on her. Damn. And it's unfortunate because throughout this whole series, she has to take the weight of everything. Yeah, that is true.
Even to the point of killing her own mama.
Yeah, damn. Yep. Taking out her mama, taking out Scrap,
Mm-hmm.
even though that was a mistake. She's the one that had to take on the pain of that mistake that
Yeah.
she made. And then when everything goes wrong, they want to point at her. Rock, you did this, you didn't do this right. Yeah, 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 yeah. And when everything going right, they still won't give her the credit. Yep, she had to take on. Damn, that actually makes that episode even better for me now because I never thought about it from that standpoint. Yeah, the weight of everything was always on her. Shit. What if Rock survived and had permanent what's this say? There's some mental.
Mental damage.
Yeah, see, on my side, I don't know if this is there for you, but it's something right here that be blocking some of the words. And I don't know how to move it. That's the reason why I be struggling to see what certain words are. They be blocking it off.
I'm
But yeah,
looking at
so
I'm looking at the StreamYard comments, but then sometimes some of them don't show up over there, and I have to go back to the YouTube.
that's weird. I don't know why certain ones don't show up for you. But yeah, so that's a good, like I said, that's a good way of saying it. But also another thing that I was pointing out is the fact that perhaps perhaps that they also could be saying that, Kanan could be trying to pressure her to give him control of the weight that she did have. That's what I thought about originally. But what you said probably
But that's not that episode. It's not about Kanan uh, getting control. But I do think that the titles are significant. I'm glad you wanted to connect that.
yeah.
The OG Kanan's narrations is significant. Um, that really be kind of telling the story. The music has always been telling part of the story. The music selections.
Yeah. Another deep indicator that tells you what's going on. Um
Oh, and
yeah.
I heard you use Nemesis in the sentence.
Where were you going with that?
No, I did. When you was talking a while back, and you said something about somebody's nemesis.
Oh, I was talking about the Pino Bernardi dude is Stefano's nemesis.
Yeah,
So I
so
believe
we
that.
got we got a new word now. That's my point.
I mean, nemesis is like a word that's been out there. I
I
mean,
know it, but you don't just hear people using it.
true, that's true. That is, I mean, I use it from time to time when we're comparing two like a villain and a hero. That's typically where you'll hear me use it. In this particular situation, they both villains. But yeah, so it says that in the breakdown for Pino Bernardi that he's a nemesis of Stefano that's rival. That basically they strength is kind of equal. Like they're both very powerful because throughout raising Canaan, for as what we saw, Stefano has been the top dog as far as the Italian families in New York. But basically they're letting us know Pino equals him. So, like I said, I would suspect that Kanan and Breeze is going to attach themselves to him. And like probably that scene where we seen Flossie pulling the gun on Kanan. I believe that probably is going to be Kanan's introduction to her. She's probably going to end up pulling the gun on her. He's going to let her know that he's there to have a meeting with her, and then that they're going to end up sitting it out talking. She's probably going to grow a liking to him, and she might end up introducing him to Pino, perhaps. And like I said, I think they're going to form an alliance. So
Do
yeah,
you think we'll see Shirley again?
Shirley. Mm. If something happens to Lou, then yes.
That's what I was thinking. To Lewis. She was the only one on the show called him Lewis.
So Rakim is gone in the win as a connect now. It seems like it.
That might be the grade that Marvin is looking at.
What do you mean?
Lewis. You know, in that picture where y'all said Marvin looking at somebody's grade.
Yep, could be. This is the thing. And I probably got like 10 more minutes time. What people not, and I don't have a whole lot of time. I don't have time really to go through it now. Maybe I'll do another one, perhaps Monday, another live Monday, and talk a little deeper on this maybe. But we got up in the teaser, there's an image with the only image actually that we see of Lou. He's inside of Rock's house. You can tell that it's nighttime, and it seemed like it's probably very shortly after the aftermath of whatever happened between Kanan and Rock. And we also seen another image of Kanan being in her house. So I believe that they must have been in the house at the same time. So that's something to look out for. What happened between that exchange between them? Because if he truly shot Rob and Lou walks up and sees this, what do you think will happen?
One of the content creators thought that Lou was the one that might have whooped Kanan.
Right.
And I think it's the same content creator that thought Lou might take the fall for shooting Rock.
Yeah. Getting how I live. So
I want Marvin to kick Kanan's ass.
I remember you saying that. I was just about to mention it. So I mean, it kind of makes sense that it be Marvin because Marvin is the tough uncle.
He been wanting to.
And he's been the one talking about whooping his ass for the past 2 seasons. So it would make sense that it be Marvin. But you know what stands out to me because some people I think I've seen a couple of people say that Kanan might take out Lou. And I don't know because one thing I do know is that Kanan loved his uncles. So it makes me think he didn't do it. He didn't have nothing to do with the death of them. He could, because we also got to remember that what took place in the original Power, if it happened before season 5, it could be changed. Because we know when Kanan first, but here's the reason what makes me think it didn't change this part. If you pay attention to Kanan's clothing in the original Power, he dressed like his uncles. So that lets you know that he had a great, deep love for them. When he first when he first comes out of prison, he's wearing the same outfit of what you would see Marvin wearing in the very first episode of Raising Kanan, and also the last episode of season 3. He's wearing a very similar outfit. And then also, if you pay attention to when he first pull up on Ghost, he's dressing just like how Lou dressed.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't seeing Imani no more, nigga. It ain't no, there's no reason for her.
See, I always really believe that the character Lou wasn't much older than Kanan. But but when they hire these actors and they be old playing young folks,
Mm-hmm.
like clearly Patina Miller is not a 33-year-old.
Right. What time is it now? Shit. Well, as much as I would love to stay and chat a little longer, I got to get ready to get up out of here. So if anyone got any final remarks and questions, we'll do that, and then I got to get out of here.
So Rock is alive and Ghost is dead.
No. Flossie is a new character that's coming. The white lady that I think they said she's Italian, correct? She's part of the Italian mob, I believe.
She's a madam or something, right?
Mm-hmm. If she's alive, I think 100% she's in. If she's alive and we don't see her die in the final season of Raising Kanan, I think 100% she's in Legacy. And that would make sense of why they had her originally a part of the Ghost cast the final season. So yeah, because what I think originally could have possibly been what was going to happen is she was going to be the cliffhanger for season 4, and season 5 was probably going to be the final season. That's what I believe they was originally going to do. But since they had to end it in 4, they had to change it.
I want to see the furnace. I want to see D Wiz's brother. I want to see the diamonds and pearls.
Keep in mind the Ghost dad situation. I got to see how that works. So that's how you know for sure they have to be doing flashbacks and origins, because there's no way you can tell Ghost's story without saying what happened to his father. And we know that happens before 2002. So folks got to keep that in mind. That's another indicator letting you know 100% they're going to be doing flashbacks. Oh, she's Jewish. Gotcha. Okay. DeMarcus, I think you're right. I think he's like 10 years older than Kanan as well. That's the mark, I think.
Have y'all seen or heard a birthday?
No, they haven't given anything like that for Lou. Like I just said when I did my video, basically indicating everybody's ages. I just went with educated guesses of the people that they didn't give direct, age range for.
The Rock held him in her arms the day he was born.
Uh-huh. She said she held him in his arms, but you can hold somebody in your arms when you're 4 years old.
But who would do that? Well, maybe he wasn't born
I
at the
know plenty of
hospital.
people that do it.
Maybe he wasn't born at a hospital.
It can be well. I don't think she said the day he was born. Anyway, I think
Yes, she did. She said the day he was born. That's one of my favorite scenes in the whole series when they were talking to that therapist.
I remember her saying holding him. I don't know about the day you was born. I got to say that. I'm not saying you're not right,
I'm
but
right.
I don't remember that.
But you ain't got time to look it up. So
Yeah, I'm gonna make time for that. That's gonna be the last thing I do, but I'm gonna look at that shit right now. That's season 3, episode 10. All right, you're right. I just saw it. I mean, if you want me to put it so you can see it, I can. But yeah, she just said it. She said the day he was born. So but yeah, like I said, 4-year-olds that 4 years old or older, I would say you're definitely able to hold a newborn in your arms. But she could be like 7 years old, older than them, which would make her even older, you know, to be able to do that. Because like I think what DeMarcus said is about accurate, close to, if not, you know, right on point. I would say Lou is anywhere between 10 to 13 years older than Kanan.
Kanan was born in '75.
Uh-huh.
So y'all was saying Lou would have been born at about 65. Hospitals were very different than they are now.
I think Lou's born anywhere between 65, from 61 to 65 is what I would say his range is. Not even
That's
61.
because you want him to be Ghost's dad. That's why you making him
No,
old.
it really doesn't have anything to do with that right now. It's just looking at Rock's age and knowing what Kanan's age is. Her saying she held him in his arms means she has to be a certain amount of years older than him.
Yeah, he was
So,
everybody. He was everybody's baby brother.
so yeah, I would say
She referred to him as son a few times.
yeah, but I keep telling you, they in New York. Everybody refers to everybody as son.
Okay, I'm about it.
Now, I actually know a couple of situations where the uncle is younger than the nephew. I know a couple of situations like that. Ain't got one last show. Until the Power Universe end. I'm gonna ride that motherfucker till the wheels fall off. If he don't show up in Legacy, I told you it's gonna be a new spinout show up. Power Heaven. Ghost gonna show up in that motherfucker.
I don't think most people even care at this point.
Yeah, they don't. But it's all good. That's what they want. See, that's the catch.
It's been too many years.
Yeah, the Tommy movie. Yep, the Tommy movie could happen. Yep, it could happen there. And why my nigga Ghost gotta be in power here? Like he couldn't give his life to the Lord at the end. Anyways, though, yeah, I gotta go ahead and get up out here. But shit, I got less than goddamn. Yeah, I definitely gotta get out of here. But we're gonna definitely we're gonna hold up here. We're gonna do another one. If not Monday, for sure Tuesday. We're gonna pick up on a lot of this. But until then, I'm gonna have to catch y'all a little later.